Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly timeframes. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. And please go to our website, StockBookie.com. Sign up for a free membership for videos like this, live streams, and email alerts and stuff like that. But go to your members profile and tell me a little bit about how you trade, whether you're an options trader, swing trader, intraday scalper, futures trader. Just tell me a little bit about yourself. Just want to know what your style of trading is. All right, let's get right into the daily SPY. And again, a little bit of whipsaw day, kind of little distribution in the morning, in my opinion. Then a push up. We did come right into the 20 MA again. That's the pretty much the story of the last. I don't know. Let's pull this out. I don't know, a week and a half or so. Once they got it above the 220 MA, then it's just kind of just hugging it and just moving along. Slightly bullish pattern up here, as well as consolidation going across. Do we move up? If we do, it's probably going to go to the 230 area, 231. You do have a trend line up here with an upsloping trend line. So as it slowly builds up pressure, it could pop through there and go higher. If this pattern does fail, then expect lower prices to come. Weekly chart, first day of the week. So not really, a lot. We did talk about this consolidating since this first red candle. If it does go sideways for about 8 to 10 weeks, then it possibly is building up pressure to move higher. But like I said, on the daily chart, if this thing fails, expect lower prices. If you're bullish, you need to get above, back above these trend lines, and then possibly with a little more volume, push up. If you're bearish, then possibly look for a close below this red candle, and then this big green bar here and the 382 retrace. Then you got to get below the 20 MA, 50 MA. Then I think you could go to at least a gap fill, and then we'll wait for pattern, see if it sets up and goes lower. Again, if it goes higher, you need to get above this, and then we'll wait for pattern above there. All right, so that's about it for the SPY. Let's go to the IWM. IWM, a little bit weaker than the rest of the market. Again, we're back below the 20 MA, just kind of above, below, just hugging on to this. And let's see if we close below this tail, or at least below the 134.48. Then you're possibly going down to the 50 MA, hits the 50, then we'll wait for pattern. Or does it just go right back down to gap fill down here? If you're bullish, you need to get above the trend line, above the 20 MA, and then shoot for double top in this trend line, which is, right here. It's roughly about 130. Let's just say 140. Needs to get above the trend line, capture 140, and then start moving up. I'd like to see more volume for that push up, but we'll see what happens and what the markets give us. Weekly chart, one day in the week, so not much, but a nice bullish flag pattern. Not bad. A little bit bearish here, but a little more. It's about 50-50. It could go either way. We'll see what Friday's close brings us. If you're above the trend line and maybe above the all-time high, then expect higher prices. If you are below this tail and then break below this big green bar here, roughly around 131.92, then expect lower prices to come. You got gap fill, and then ultimately you got the gap fill here, and then down in here, if this thing really rumbles. But if you're bullish, like I said, you got to get above the trend line and the all-time high, and then I want to see more volume. I don't want to see just wimpy candles pushing this thing up. I want to see some conviction, maybe on some news. Maybe the Trump rally comes in. Who knows? The Qs. Let's go to the daily chart. Q's only 37 cents down, nothing wrong, above the trend line, just kind of chopping around. We've been up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days. So let's see if we can form a bullish pattern and move higher. I'm thinking 124, of course, 125 even number, then possibly see if we pass that, maybe 126, 127. But we'll see how the 125 even number reacts if it does get there. If this pattern fails, see if we get below this trend line, below the 20 MA, and then we should have lower prices to come. We got gap fill here at 118.86, maybe $4 or $5 pullback. If this line fails, this trend line, if we crack through this is going to be a big one, guys. If that cracks, then I think we have lower prices to come. But you know what? We'll have to see how it reacts. If it does come down into gap fill, 50 MA is great support in here, guys. And you know what? We could pull this out. This is old. And let's stick a new one in real quick here. And so you have the 382, you have the 618 there too at gap fill. So that's going to be great resistance. Everything's overshooting a little bit, so maybe down into this area. And you do have a gap fill in the 200 MA down here, but one step at a time, guys. One step at a time. Weekly chart, first day of the week, nothing too much. still above the trend line here, doing okay. Let's see again, just like the spider. Let's see if we start clicking and going sideways, and then it's building up pressure to possibly go up. If this pattern fails, we're definitely going down, of course. And you'll hit the support as you're going down, but if this pattern fails up here, if we get bullish, then expect lower prices. We have earnings coming up, Netflix, I believe, tomorrow, so that's going to set some tone, and it'll be interesting in the next couple of weeks with earnings and everything, guys. Of course, in my opinion, of course. The DIA, nothing wrong. Weekly chart. We'll talk about this first. You got a little tail here. You've been going sideways for 6 weeks. Again, another couple weeks and build up more pressure to shoot through the 20,000. If it does go higher, maybe 202.50, 205, depending. I mean, that's pretty good bullish consolidation on weekly. So, if that doesn't shoot us up to higher prices, if this pattern fails, then we're definitely going lower. I think we'll retest the 20 and the 50 and possibly get back to gap fill. But again, one step at a time. Let's see what happens as Donald gets in on the 20th and see how it's going to be an interesting week. Options X, Donald coming in, this is all the stuff. The DIA on the daily, great bullish pattern, a little bit choppy in this area, but came right back up. Never could get back above here, which was interesting to me. Now we're back below the 20 MA. Let's see if we set up in a bearish consolidation underneath the 20 to shoot down to the 50 MA and possibly this trend line. If you're bullish, you need to crack the 200 area, 20,000 area. You just need to. And when it cracks through, it needs to close. And then the next day, it needs to close above there and just rally. And I want to see bigger volume too to make me. I still won't buy up at the tops. I just don't do that after an 8-year bull rally, guys. I just don't. But I'd rather see a big pullback, and then we'll go long somewhere, somewhere down in here, maybe here. But we'll have to keep an eye on stuff and see how it reacts in the next couple weeks. IYT. That one was a little bit weak today, but you know what? It came back down. I said, it's looking weak. We closed below this green bar, setting up in a bearish manner. Then pop goes the weasel, back above the 20. Everybody goes, oh, here we go. It's going to go. It's going to be great. And then boom, today it goes right back below the 20. Still slightly bullish. Again, this is another one. It's not really telling us much, but we're at the all-time highs. If you wanted to go short the IYT, you can. But, let's wait for pattern. Let's see if we can get one more push up here. If it definitely gets back in the 120, 171, to 175, the quarter number, I would definitely put a short on if you are not short. Even a nibble here would not be bad in my opinion. If you could get a little higher prices, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just stick a short-term fib in here. Let's see where the 618 and the Fed. So yeah, if it gets back up to the line 167.79 double top or the 168.83, those are some good areas to start putting on shorts. And then of course, if we get up 171, 72, 73 up in there, it would be even more spectacular. All right, so that's the daily on the IYT, and I believe we looked at the weekly too. Weekly, slightly bearish. You know what? We are still above the MAs. Great stance, bullish. Everyone's happy, blah, blah, blah. It's never going down, but this little move down and starting to go sideways, this could be possibly setting up for lower prices. I still think from this move, we're a little bit stretched. We need to come back in, and then we start moving up. But again, one day at a time, guys. Right now, I think it's a 50-50. I do like this little bearish pattern starting to develop. It needs more time to possibly play out. Again, if it doesn't go up, it's going down. Pretty simple. Let's look at the USO. USO on the daily, 2 cents up, flat. Didn't really have any direction today. It did start up. You know what? Let's go to the 10-minute real quick here. Oops, that's the monthly. So the 10-minute, yeah, I mean, we kind of, wow, we started up and slow fade. Look at this. Down, sideways, bearish pattern. This is intraday. Gosh, I wish I would have shorted this one. It's only 10 cents, but $11 stock, you could do like, 5,000 shares and pound it in there, get your 10 cents, your $500 and be done with it. But, still no volume in this thing. Kind of hard to, how much? Oh, actually 16 million today. Look at that. Where did that come from? Wow. But anyways, bearish pattern comes right in, then 230, whatever, then it just goes sideways, does nothing. Let's go back to the daily chart. Yeah, I guess this thing trades that much. I thought it only traded 1 million a day. Today it did 16 million. But anyway, still above the trend line, and got back below the 20 MA. We did start below, above it, then it had a nice fade throughout the day. Ended up at the 250 retrace, as well as you do have a gap fill, which it filled on Friday. And let's see if this thing can keep holding up. But again, it's still okay. You're back below the 20, nothing to worry about. You start getting below the 20 and the 50 MA and start coming down in this trend line and filling these gaps, then you should get worried. If you're long, you want to definitely get back above the 12, then the 1250 area, which is right, or yeah, it's like 1246 or something like that. The line isn't exact, but then definitely get past the 1250 area and then possibly more upside. I still like to see more volume in this one, maybe about, like this candle here, this green one, you got about 31 million on there. And of course, if we got the 94 million like we did on these couple days here, we went boom, boom, boom. So that's what we're looking for as well. Weekly chart, same thing, above the MAs. Nothing to worry about. I mean, you're still below the 200 up there, but nothing to worry about here. You got a pretty good pattern starting to develop. You get these starting to curl up. This thing could possibly move higher. If it does move higher, then you're probably looking at well, you could probably go to 1350, 13 to 1350, and then if it really gets going, you're probably coming $15, $16. But I'm telling you guys, we can't handle higher gas prices. It's going to ruin it. She's raising rates right now. The gas prices go up. No way. It's not going to be good. Consumer spending will drop, and then it's going to be some interesting times in the next couple of weeks, guys, even the next couple months. But I believe it's going to be a trader's market, so I don't care. Bring it on. Let's go UUP. UUP, that was the one, that's what I was looking at earlier when I was at the volumes. This is the one where we trade about 3 million a day, nothing big, but again, just keeps pulling back. But we pulled back again. Oil should have kept going, and oil was pretty flat. But as this one pulled down, the gold took off. So we're doing pretty good on the gold trade now. We were adding at 115. Well, we'll get to that one. So right now, though, we did almost fill the gap here. We did crack this lower, lower support area. You had some support in the consolidation. It did come in. So. But kind of like here, we got this, slingshot action, and boom, came up. Everybody got bullish, so everyone's loading up here, and then all of a sudden, so I'm thinking everyone chased it. Someone's bringing it down to make them pay for it a little bit, put them in a little pain, a little margin call action, and then they'll go. Or do we come down here and fill the gap? You still have this trend line as well here. So you still have, does it fill the gap and come to this trend line? Maybe. And you still have the 200 moving average. So, and there's a gap fill right here as well. So one day at a time with this. Let's go to the weekly. Let's look at this one on the on this time frame. Yeah, we had a nice pullback. We closed below these bars. We're right into this area. You have some good support, but you have the 20 MA curling up as well. So you have great support at 2550, 2559. The curling MA there. You go back to the daily now, guys. Let's see, this is at 2508. You got the gap fills. Yeah, so the 200 moving average is a little far away, but the 20 on the weekly is support, and that one's at 2568. So beware of that. If you're long the dollar and if you chased up here, hold tight. Let's see if this just is a slight pullback and then the next move up. So don't let them shake you out at all. And the GLD, guys, this one's been working out great. We've been talking about this 117, the 120 area. It's coming right up to here. Let's see, man, if we could gap up over this 20 MA and shoot for this, oh, this would be great. I'd pull half off around here, and then let's see if we could get the 125, 36 or so, a double top. But one step at a time. Let's see if we set up sideways to go up, or do we actually just come right back down just like we did here? It's almost like the same length, too. See how this came in and then just clunk? Same thing, but we're up here now, so let's see. We did get back above these, little pivots here around 115.35 or so. I do like the close, but again, let's see if we continue up. And that's the weekly, guys. Let's look at the daily, a little more short-term time frame. Again, we're still above the 50 MA as long as we stay above there. And and consolidate. We did get past the gap fill here as well. So right now we did confirm above the 50 MA. Let's see if we let's see if we get to this 121. So man, filled the gap here. We have a gap up here, little pivot, 618. We do a lot of resistance, at 18, starting at 118 or so. You still have the gap at 116.19. But if you're bullish, you want this thing to keep going with some follow through. If you're bearish, you want to see this thing come right back down and get below the 50 MA and then go south. So, all right, guys. Thanks again for watching my videos. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Come and sign up for my free website. We'll talk charts. We'll go live. We'll have some fun. Thanks again. God bless. See you on the charts.